Hey y'all, it's your friendly neighborhood therapist, and it is Monday, February 17th, 2025. So it is day 17 in our series of lesser known facts and lesser known people of the culture for Black History Month. Now, real quick shirt check. Poetic Justice is just a nod to a classic Black film starring Tupac Amari Shakur and Janet Jackson. If you've never seen it, go look it up. Now, today I want to talk to y'all about a school. If you are watching this and you are from Washington, D.C. or the surrounding area, then you already know about this school, okay? But everybody ain't from D.C. So a lot of people may not know about this school. And even if they do, they may not know the history of this particular school. So let's get into it. All right, so Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School, or just Dunbar High School, is a historically black public secondary school located in Washington, D.C. This school was America's, not DC's, America's first public high school for Black students. The school is located in the Truxton Circle neighborhood of Northwest Washington, 2 blocks from the intersection of New Jersey and New York Avenues. Dunbar, which serves grades 9 through 12, is a part of the District of Columbia Public Schools. From the early 20th centuries to the 1950s, Dunbar became known as the classic academic high school for Black students in segregated public schools. As all public school teachers were federal civil servants, the school's teachers received pay equal to white teachers in other schools in the district. It attracted high quality faculty, many with advanced degrees, including doctorates. Parents sent their children to the school from across the city because of its high standards. Many of its alumni graduated from top quality colleges and universities and gained professional degrees. One of its early principals was Mary Jane Patterson. Now, if you go into the playlist for Black History 365 on my page, I talked about her maybe 2 years ago. I've done 2 years of Black History people and facts, so you can find Miss Mary Jane Patterson on that list. Now, the history of this school. It was founded in 1870 by William Syphax, president of the Board of Trustees for Colored Schools, as the preparatory high school for colored youth. The school was started at the 15th Street Presbyterian Church. From 1891 to 1916, it became known as M Street High School. The school was America's first public high school for Black students only. When its location was changed from M Street, the school was renamed in 1916 for the noted African American poet Paul Laurence Dunbar, who died in 1906. As the city established other high schools, it designated Dunbar as its academic high school, while other schools provided more vocational or technical training. Dunbar was known for its excellence in academics, enough so that some Black parents moved to Washington specifically so their children could attend it. All the public school teachers were federal employees, and Dunbar's faculty was paid well by the standards of the time, earning parity pay with Washington's white school teachers. The school boasted many graduates who went on to higher education and a generally successful student body. Dunbar's original 1916 building, designed by architect Snowden Ashford, was demolished in 1977 and subsequently rebuilt. The resulting building was in turn demolished and rebuilt in 2013. In the 21st century, Dunbar is similar to Paul Laurence Dunbar High School in Baltimore, Maryland, and Fort Worth, Texas, as all three schools have a majority African American student body and are of major importance to the local African American community. All three schools are also highly regarded for their athletic programs within their respective school district in football, basketball, and track. There is also a Paul Laurence Dunbar High School in Lexington, Kentucky. One of Dunbar's first principals in Washington, D.C., was also the first Black graduate of Harvard College, and that would be Mr. Richard Theodore Greener. We're going to learn a little bit about him on another day. Almost all the teachers had graduate degrees and several earned PhDs. By the 1950s, Dunbar High School sent 80% of its students to college. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to the thing I say next. All right, it's going to probably ruffle some feathers, might make people feel a little bit offended, but I'm going to say it because we talking about the history of this school and changes that occurred, okay? Now, notice a little while ago that I said the school started out as the top academic school for Black students in Washington, D.C., right? Now, today it is highly regarded for its athletic programs, okay? That's a shift in and of itself to go from being academically based to athletic. But I want y'all to listen to this quote from economist Thomas Sowell's 2015 appraisal because everything changed for this school after the landmark United States Supreme Court case Brown versus Board of Education that ruled for integration of public schools. Sowell states, for Washington, the end of racial segregation led to a political compromise in which all schools became neighborhood schools. Dunbar, which had been accepting outstanding black students from anywhere in the city, could now accept only students from the rough ghetto neighborhood in which it was located. Virtually overnight, Dunbar became a typical ghetto school. As unmotivated, unruly, and disruptive students flooded in, Dunbar teachers began moving out, and many retired. More than 80 years of academic excellence simply vanished into thin air. That is a very hard quote to hear. And I know it's a lot of people who don't particularly care for Thomas Sowell. But I want you to understand something that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said that a lot of people ignore. I fear I may have integrated my people into a burning house. I am not saying that segregation is right. I am not saying that segregation was actually fair. We know it wasn't. We know that Brown versus Board of Education was pivotal in a lot of ways. But when you consider a school like Dunbar High School, integration did not help that school. Integration did not help that school at all. And also, when we consider district lines don't always help a school either. Okay? But they purposely do that. They purposely do that so that schools in specific areas are not as highly regarded. Okay? That is not to say anything negative about our people. That is not to say anything negative about the hood. Hell, I grew up in the hood. But that is just to tell the truth of the matter that integration didn't help this school. In fact, it harmed it. And now we shift from it being academically lauded to athletically lauded. Since its inception, the school has graduated many well known figures of the 20th century, including Sterling Brown, H. Naylor Fitzhugh, Nannie Helen Burroughs, Charles R. Drew, William H. Hasty, Charles Hamilton Houston, Robert Herberton Terrell, Benjamin O. Davis Sr., Gene Tomer, Robert C. Weaver, etc., etc. And we can learn about some of these people because I know y'all know some of them names. Its illustrious faculty included Anna Julia Cooper, Kelly Miller, Mary Church Terrell, A. Bursch Jr., Carter G. Woodson, and Julia Evangeline Brooks. I've talked about some of them already. Go through the playlist, y'all. And all of those faculty I mentioned, they were also graduates of the school. Among its principals were Anna J. Cooper, Richard Greener, Mary J. Patterson, and Robert Heberton Terrell. An unusual number of teachers and principals held PhD degrees, including historian Carter G. Woodson, the second African American to earn a PhD from Harvard after W.E.B. Du Bois, and the father of Black History Month. Until 1954, Fairfax County, Virginia had no secondary schools for black students. Dunbar and several other District of Columbia public schools accepted black students from the county before that time. According to statistics, in the 2020-2021 school year, Dunbar had about 650 students. 98% of those students were African American, 1% were Hispanic American, less than 1% were Asian American, less than 1 were Native American, and less than 1 were European American. The enrollment by race and ethnicity for the 2020-21 school year, 635 black students, 26 Hispanic students, 3 that were of 2 or more races, and 1 Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander. So this is a school that is black, black. It was always black. There was a time that it was only black, and it was great. And now I don't personally know. I would like for some people from DC to hop on here and tell me that it is still great and that it is still standing on its historical foundation of academic greatness. Because after I read that Thomas Sowell quote, I really felt a type of way. So I ain't even gonna be upset if some of y'all feel a type of way about it. But I want to know, and I want to know from the horse's mouths versus me looking it up and seeing people's takes on it and economists like him and other folks who research these kind of things. I want to know from the people there, is this still a classically academic school of excellence? Or did integration truly do a number on this school and it never recovered? All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed that history lesson about that marvelous, wonderful high school. And I hope that y'all join me tomorrow for day 18 in our series of lesser known facts and lesser known people of the culture for Black History Month.